Elon Musk is proposing essentially giving money to Americans based on what Doge is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, it would give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it would give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
What do you think of ICE arrests right now? Do you think that they need to increase the number of people they're arresting?
Where?
The pace of the ICE?
No, I think they're doing a great job. You know, you have people that are hiding. They're professionals at hiding. That's what they've done for a big part of their lives. And they're criminals in many cases, very serious criminals, including murderers. And obviously they're not easy to capture, but they're being captured in record numbers and they're being brought out of our country, being brought back to where they came from.
So actually about Ukraine, you said today that you had a deal on critical minerals and Ukraine broke it.
Yeah, we had a deal where we were going to get, look, you have to understand, Europe is being paid back the money that they put up, and they're only putting up a fraction of what we're putting up. I think they're in for $100 billion and we're in for $350 billion. There's no reason that should have happened. It's Biden's fault. He shouldn't have allowed that to happen. But on top of it all, they're getting their $100 billion back, and we're not. And I've been talking about this for 2 years. I said, you have to loan them the money so that if things work out, they're going to pay you back. And they didn't do that, so Biden didn't do it. It's his fault. Nobody's ever seen anything so stupid. So Europe gets their money back, and they're only in for a small fraction. And obviously, everything's important, but it's more important for them because they're right next to Russia. So it's more important than we have an ocean in between us. So it's obviously more important than the European countries than it is to the U.S. But here's the thing, we don't get our money back. And we told them that the deal is we'll do something for the rare earth and some oil, etc., and that'll be all right. And they agreed to it more or less. And then Scott Bessent actually went there and was treated rather rudely because essentially they told him no, and Zelensky was sleeping and unavailable to meet him. He traveled many hours on the train, which is a dangerous trip. And we're talking about the Secretary of the Treasury. He went there to get a document signed. And when he got there, he came back empty. They wouldn't sign the document. But for Europe, they pay back their money. It's a loan. Think of that. And we should have a loan too. But we had an administration that was incompetent.
Can you resurrect that deal? Is there anything that you can do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to resurrect it. You know, we'll see what happens, but I'm going to resurrect it, or things are not going to make him too happy. And look, it's time for elections. They haven't had an election in a long time. It's wonderful to say, you know, we can't have an election, but it's time for elections. And it's also time to find out what happened with all the money. Because he made the statement that half of it, he doesn't know where it is, or something like that. And I'd like to find out all the money that we've been sending to Ukraine, where is it? And I can tell you we're doing very well with Russia. We're going to do something with Russia that he was unable to do. We can make a deal with Russia to stop the killing of, you know, potentially additional millions of people. The soldiers are being just wiped out on both sides, wiped out. It's horrible. You know, the weaponry today is so powerful, so, you know, strong, that it's killing a lot of soldiers. And I don't want to see soldiers. They're Russian and they're Ukrainian. I don't want to see those soldiers killed. They have mothers and fathers. They have sisters and brothers. I don't want to see them killed.
You said that you spoke with some car companies.
I spoke to all car companies. Everybody's coming back into America.
So these are foreign car companies?
Including foreign companies, yeah. They're going to be coming in because they don't want to pay the tariffs.
So that you'll be having lunch with the Democrats next week. Can you elaborate on who that is and what you'll do?
Well, you'll see when I do it. But some good ones.
Are you going to
some biggies. I think it would be great if Republicans and Democrats could get along. It's time. It's time. Makes sense.
Mr. President, have you set a date for the British Prime Minister's visit to Washington?
No, he'll be coming soon, though. He's asked to come and see me. So. And President of France also. Macron will be coming.
But that was a date, yeah.
Very soon. Maybe Monday.
Can I ask you about the Chinese? So, you know, eventually you would like to meet with President Xi.
Yeah. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. I think a great relationship with President Xi. But remember, he loves China, and I love the USA. So, you know, right there's a little bit of competitiveness. But the relationship I have with President Xi is, I would say, a great one. It was obviously hurt by COVID coming in. It hurt them, hurt us, hurt everybody, hurt the whole world. But outside of that, I have a very, very good relationship with President Xi.
Are you looking?
I think he's a very unique person.
I should make a new trade deal with China. I mean, you know,
it's possible.
One trade deal never really got it.
It's possible. Well, we did a great trade deal with China. We did it great for the farmers, great for manufacturers. They had to buy $50 billion worth of our product, and we were making them buy it. The problem is that Biden didn't push them to adhere to it.
So, Senator, do you think D.C. should govern itself, or do you think that governing of District of Columbia should go back to Congress?
I think that we should govern District of Columbia. It's so important, the D.C. situation. I think that we should run it strong run it with law and order, make it absolutely flawlessly beautiful. And I think we should take over Washington, D.C., make it safe. People are getting killed, people are being hurt. You have a great police department there, but somehow they're not utilized properly. We should govern D.C. I think the federal government should take over the governance of D.C. and run it really, really properly. And I like the mayor. I get along great with the mayor. But they're not doing the job. Too much crime, too much graffiti, too many tents on the lawns of his magnificent lawns, and there's tents. And, you know, it's a sad thing. You know, homeless people all over the place, and we got to take care of the homeless. But you can't have that in Washington, D.C. You know, when they come over to see me, like Macron is coming, and the Prime Minister of UK is coming, and all these people are coming over to see me. We'll have ultimately President Xi, and we'll have everybody coming, right? Then you can't let that be. You just can't let that happen. You can't have tents all over your beautiful, your once magnificent plazas and lawns. Or just can't do it.
Sir, do you think you can still pay for extending your tax cuts without cutting both Medicaid and Medicare?
Yeah, absolutely.
House Republicans are ready to make cuts too.
Well, I think we're going to take in tremendous tariff money. Number one, and number two, you take a look at Doge and you see what's happening. We're saving billions of dollars.
On Doge, do you know what they're looking at specifically at the Department of Defense right now?
They're looking at everything.
And are they going to cut more
They're
national
looking at. We're going to go into
security
Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Are they going to?
You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that?
Are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, I mean, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, and make sure the gold is there. Gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.